Thank you so much for having me. My name is Tia. I'm the founder and director of Future Female Sounds, and we are based in Copenhagen, Denmark. We are a non-profit organization, which I founded in 2017. We have our headquarters in Copenhagen, and we have our so-called global DJ programs, which take place in Paris, Berlin, Cairo, and Tunis. We're on a very ambitious mission to make DJ culture accessible to women and gender minorities globally. We're also a digital community of over 7,000 DJs spread around the globe, and we work with a number of partners, everything from Creative Europe, of course, to the United Nations, to Beatport and more commercial institutions. This is from our DJ Academy in Copenhagen, where we have a 3-month-long free education for women and gender minorities to basically learn the technical skills of how to DJ, but just as much learn how to navigate the music industry. So we have basically 2 main focus points in our work. One is about educating and empowering. And when I say educate, we're both educating the actual DJs to learn them the technical skills and, of course, the more management skills. And the other part of our work is actually educating the industry. So, of course, we're advocating to change the narrative of what a DJ is, and we're also working on creating a greater gender balance in the music industry, which is still very much not balanced. And we empower our emerging talent by professionalization and support. One of the ways that we do help emerging DJs is by booking them. I also have a booking agency, so we kind of really help to nurture the talent and then push them out into the industry. We do that by aligning with festivals, clubs, and of course institutions to help them give emerging DJs a chance to have their first performance, remunerated performance, because this is also something that we're working very hard on to be able to actually guarantee good fees for our DJs. And of course, building and sustaining our community is at the focus of what we do. We also have online groups, which basically function as a safer space, an online safer space, where emerging talent can ask questions that they're afraid to ask in a public forum. So it could be, for example, I need to buy a pair of headphones. Which brand should I get? How do I actually plug it into this type of equipment or that type of equipment? And then we have somewhat senior DJs who are already established in the industry who become their online mentors and can help sort of answer any questions that they have. It could also be that someone has had an experience of racism, ageism, sexism that they have experienced being out in the scene and performing, and it's a place where they can find support and community. And yeah, speaking of communities and audiences, I mean, this is from our program in Berlin, by the way. Digital communities are extremely important to invest in because it's a direct communication channel. So it's a place and a space where you're actually able to talk to your target audience directly and understand what their needs are. Very much as what Lisette was explaining before, you have this resource at your hands where you can actually engage directly with your target audience, understand their needs, and then translate that into action, right? Hopefully, that is what we're trying to do. So we talk a lot about accessibility, and accessibility for us is making DJ culture accessible to more girls, women, non-binary, and gender minorities. And when it comes to audience development, I think this was also mentioned before. I've been working with culture and communities for over 20 years, and I'm not an expert on audience development or audience participation, but the way that I see it is that audience participation is a democratic right? And more so, music is a human right, and participating in culture is a human right. But it's not democratic and it's not universal if a large part of the audience is not included. If they're not thought of in the very beginning of when you do your programming, you're not including a greater diverse audience. So there's also this thing of a percentage of an audience that may not feel safe or they may not feel included. So it's not just about programming a bunch of artists and hoping that you'll have more diversity. It's really about understanding how the whole experience of, for example, a festival or a show can be diverse from A to Z. And so as programmers and gatekeepers, it's up to us to ensure that everyone feels that they have the option to participate if they want to. So there's a couple of ways that you can work with this. You can have a diversity charter. There are more and more festivals now that are beginning to look at developing a charter that is basically a guideline to help them understand how they can create a more diverse experience. Community outreach, as I mentioned before, actually engaging with your audience and remembering that some audience, potential audience members might be shy or hesitant. You need to reach out to them. And of course, the future of our industries, not just the cultural industry, the music industry, is diverse and it is equitable and it is inclusive. So when we work with this, we have to think about not just the next couple of years, but actually what kind of utopian world we want to create also for our industry. And yeah, I think the future audience is also more diverse. So the audience is becoming also more diversified, which also means that the audience have more expectations. They want to feel represented on stage. They want to be able to see themselves on stage. And the number one question that I always get, especially as a booking agent, is, well, where can I find these people? Where can I find a female DJ who plays reggae? Or how can I locate a non-binary bassist player? And, a lot of people are like, well, I went on Google and I couldn't find anyone. And the thing is, of course, they're out there. They're all out there. But you have to make an effort to want to try to find this audience and include them in your programming. So basically, kind of to sum up, is that we as programmers we can't be lazy when it comes to developing strategies for audience development. We have to be proactive when we develop our strategies, when we develop projects, no matter what type of project you're working on, and think about diversity from the beginning. This is a charter that we developed 2 years ago. We were supported by Creative Europe to do the first ever seminar for female and gender minority DJs from Europe. So we had DJs coming from 12 different countries to Copenhagen. And we had discussions basically about what our challenges are specifically in our industry and what solutions there are. And this is a diversity charter that was developed by our DJs there. So even if you're not working in the music industry or with DJs per se, it could maybe be inspiring to look through. It's available on our website, futurefemalesounds.org, to download if you want to have another look at it. Yeah, thank you.